So Michael, I didn't really know, but did you already push it to GitHub, the library you made?
No, and I guess it's kind of a good thing because I've been restructuring that library.
Okay.
So when I looked at, I thought that the SparkFun library was complete, was a covered everything, and it turns out that it doesn't. So for certain packets, they offer helper functions, and if you go to, I don't know if it's the H file or the CPP file for SparkFun, and just search for helper, you'll find, like, for example, with the PVT packet, the helper functions are get time, get get hour, get minute, get second, get day, get longitude, get latitude. So it's basically when the packet is received, it parses it and tucks everything into into variables that it saves on its end, even though you could actually go out serial interface wise and grab it. But for the NavSat packet, it receives the packet, it does all the parsing, but it doesn't provide the interface to get at the parsed data. So I've been modifying this library to do that. And so it records all the satellites that it sees or has seen, and that is up to 197 different satellite IDs that so if you can actually go and look at the nav. Let me share that document. If Louis is on. Good.
Yes,
Good.
I saw Louis coming.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Morning.
Sure, if my it's Bluetooth again.
We can still hear you. So
you can see me.
No,
well,
that's it.
You don't need Bluetooth to see me. Where's the stupid thing? All right, let's see if we can get the voice going. Yeah, that's better.
You're in a dark room.
Yes,
I'm in the dark room, am I?
It's like no light at all.
No light at all. Wait, really?
Yes, nothing.
Oh, that's because I got the camera off. How's that now?
Yeah, that's better.
That works. That's trick.
Yeah, that's better. Okay, so here we go. We're in business. Sorry,
how's the ski racing going? Before we start recording, how's the ski racing going? Good.
Oh, we already recording.
Well, actually, we had the last race of the season yesterday. He's actually doing way better than the start of the season. You know, it's the piles of miles on snow that improve everything.
Sure. Nothing like that 10,000 hours.
Yeah, that's right. And the coaches, like, I mean, they're a bunch of 7 and 8 year olds, so the coach has to be, has to be pretty flexible.
Right.
So actually, we're going out again today because it happens to be a holiday around here, and we've just had a massive dump of snow finally.
Right.
So we're going.
Cool.
Okay,
all right. So I was just starting to talk about supporting NavSat data.
Yes.
Let's see. And what I was mentioning was that the SparkFun library provides these helper functions for a lot of the not a lot of the packets, for some of the packets, like PVT.
Yes.
So get time, get longitude, latitude, hour, minute, second, whatever. Those, but it does not provide helper functions. It does parse the NavSat data, but it doesn't provide helper functions to access that data. And then the thing that I learned is that as it collects satellites and it holds on to them even after they age, even if there's no communication, that the list of satellites that the packet provides is random. It's as they're collected and as they're thrown away.
Yes.
And so I'm working on a sorting function to sort first by you being used for navigation,
Right.
then healthy, and then within those sorts by signal strength,
Right.
which is signal to noise ratio of and it's calibrated to from 0 to 99. And they talk, and
Right.
there's a whole bunch of things in here, and there's up to 197 different satellite IDs that are available. So
Crazy.
it's yeah, so that it has to be the packet supports 255, but or a satellite can only be recorded once. So you have your the GNSS identifier is only good for GNSS satellites. Satellite identifier is what we use, and then there's the carrier to noise ratio, which is signal strength.
Right.
Right now, I'm really not concerned about elevation or azimuth, unless we were actually going to do something with those. But the bit mask is really, it's 4 bytes of data. It's actually only 3. I guess they're leaving some stuff open for expansion, but you have the quality. So the first 3 bits are quality indicator. No signal searching. You know, as the number increases, the signals, the quality of the connection is better. Then the most important one is SVUs. The signal is being used for navigation. Then you have the healthy 2-bit health indicator, and then it goes into other.
Oh yeah, all the stuff that the healthy. What does that mean? Like unknown, healthy, unhealthy. I'm not too sure what. Does that mean that the satellite itself is having trouble?
If you go on to the uBlocks forum, you can get a lot of information about what they use. You know, so healthy is really derived from the quality indicator, and I don't know what the thresholds are. I think sometimes the uBlocks, the actual standard company, the company that provides the standard, doesn't give you the should, but does not give you the details about how they derive these things. Unfortunately. So there are very few forums where very few items in the forum where uBlocks actually comments on things.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So anyway, so that's where I'm at now. Let me just show you. Let me just stop sharing the screen and share my video. Now I've got to. Can you see it regular?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. But good.
Oh, so it's mirrored for me.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine here. I can read it.
So the first, in the time that we've been here, I've lost signal. So there's the title of the menu page, then the clock that was fixed to the PVT packet, and then the next line is the PVT time. So I want to make sure that those stay in sync. I want to see how far, you know, it's just a debugging thing. And then the next 3 lines are the first 9 items in the nav set. The first element. So for each item, you have a satellite ID, and then its signal strength. And oh, I see. Wait a second. Let me back out and then go back in again.
Sure.
All right.
It picks up more.
Yeah. No, what happened was by having it on that tether, the connection is now starting. I have to redo the female connectors because my connection is a little flaky to the GPS module. So it says there's 22. So at the very bottom line is location valid, data valid, time valid, navsat valid packet, and number of satellites is 22.
That's a lot.
Yeah,
Already,
no, but that's 22 satellites that it has that is currently waiting to see if they ever
I see.
become active.
Yeah.
So
We had the same
yeah,
before
that
with
is not.
Louis.
Yeah, that is so that
Right.
that a number of satellites that are involved in navigation, that is what was reported in the PVT package. So that is a filter of this with only the satellites that are valid there. Is that keep losing that connection?
Michael, did you notice the difference between having the GPS on the cable or not?
Yeah, so I think it's an important exercise. For some reason, I have to reset this. Hold on. It's an important exercise to see if it's significant, and having the signal to noise ratio. Here we go. Having the signal to noise ratio will give me an important measure about, trying different locations, even though it's on a lead, trying different locations within the board to see if that affects it. But, just the gross measurement of taking it outside and having it just lock within, 20 seconds or 30 seconds, I don't know how significant this is going to be. I think it's definitely a test worth doing.
And did you consider the smaller GPSs, not the big one, not the 880, but for example the 185? There are smaller ones, and the 220s. They're way
Right.
smaller. They're used in drones.
Right, and I don't know if smaller antenna is worse signal to noise ratio. I it depends. If it's a newer generation, and they've done something to improve signal to noise ratio on the electronics end, but usually the smaller antennas are not as good.
That's what I thought. That's the bigger
So
one.
anyway,
But
so that's where I'm at with this.
the newer smaller ones, they have a new serial number. So I assumed it's a whole new version. They call them BE, not BNs.
Okay.
So I don't know what they changed or I have a few, so I can do some testing here too. But
Right.
they are only I2C, not serial. And I was
Yeah,
wondering if we can get an I2C input for the GPS too. Is that hard, Jelle?
now is that how many I2C channels does the Core 2 have?
I think it has
Two, I believe.
two.
Two, I think.
Yeah,
Yes.
you really don't want to share it with anybody else.
Okay, so only this one. So one.
Well,
for
the problem is the problem with I2C, and it's pointed out in a bunch of different libraries, is auto packet transmission. Right?
Yeah.
It's
You
a
can't.
problem.
It has to be a query response. Is that it?
right. So I like the serial interface. If given a choice, I like the serial interface over I2C. That's for sure.
Mhm. Oh, can we
Yeah,
do
it's
some
fast.
testing, Jelle?
Sorry?
Can we do some testing that we have with the
Testing with the I2C?
Yeah.
Or I guess we could.
Because also
I'm not sure how that would improve. Would it improve the connectivity of the GPS?
Yes, because many GPSs they all have I2C, and the smaller versions they don't have serial. They only have I2C.
Yeah, okay. So if they only have I2C, then we would have to implement some
Right.
I2C.
Now, when they have I2C, do they have an interrupt to let you know that they have data on their end?
I don't think so, but I have to check. I don't know. I have to test it. And also the quick pulse, that is the version of the safe pulse that's in the blood notes. They have I2C for the radiation. And that's also one thing we could consider, because if we want to use those high voltage ports, I think it's much more practical to have I2C also working for the radiation. And
Oh, is that because refresh my memory, there is a little counter chip on the quick
Yes.
pulse, and it's queried by I2C
yes,
periodically.
Mhm.
So
so you always
And-
have the right CPMs there.
And
Right.
the counters reset every time you query it. So you're just getting the difference between your current what you just got and what you queried before and what you're getting next.
I think so. I'm not completely sure, but you should look at the library that that Ray had posted. He posted in the Radnode channel, I think. And I did
So
some
the-
testing, and it seems to work. It just I made a small test, and it picks up the CPMs directly from it.
So there's a so what you're saying is that there's a right now we're doing the accumulation in software with the counter chip or the
Yes.
counter subsystem, and then we query it from time to time in software. Now it would be doing the accumulation right in the hardware and query the hardware from time to
Yes.
time.
Mhm.
Okay.
I mean, I2C is still quite fast, I assume.
Yes,
Or-
no, you can
Yeah.
have different
That's
speed. You can get quite fast, yes. But then it's a shared bus, huh? So if there's other devices on it, it can be missing things, and there's a lot of problems with implementations I've seen in the forums from Blues about node cards, and they all using I2C, and they connect it to other devices, and there are often problems with it, or not good termination, or too slow, or missing packages.
Right.
Okay.
So it's something to consider, but I'm not sure if we should go that way.
Right.
I mean, we can run some tests. I would do that like outside of the Zen software that we have now. So like
You're completely
small-
independent. That's fine.
small program
Yeah,
just to see if the I2C works properly, or we can maybe use it.
Yeah. Now the I2C, sorry, the I2C on the current the BN880 is only for the accelerometer.
Right.
So
Oh, really?
I didn't know that.
yes.
So that's good to know. I thought that maybe we could use that too, but
Yeah.
it's
You had
accelerator.
mentioned that. You had mentioned that, and I haven't found anything to dispute it, and I found like a couple of posts that said that confirmed what you said. But why isn't where's the document that describes that? You know?
Oh, that thing is completely undocumented.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, I think it was in the one of those drone forums that they said, oh, by
Yeah.
the way, that I2C interface is only for the accelerometer. And then I'm like, okay, show me the document. No,
No.
Nobody.
no, there's no spec. Well,
but then again, it can be we can use that too. We can use that for to
Sure.
see if the unit has moved, or if you just turn it around.
yeah.
Yeah, but can we use both interfaces at the same time?
Oh, I don't
So
know.
serial and
Yeah.
I2C. Because I think you have to set it up in
Yes.
the library.
Yeah, there is a setup in where you can actually make both active. You can even have it, send, let's say, NMEA on the serial and then I2C on U blocks or whatever, but I'm not too sure where the advantage there would be. But so the question would be, if those little BE modules, the smaller ones, if they're strictly I2C, are they talking? So the big question is, are they talking the U blocks protocol? If so, which version? Because right now, if you have a look at the serial stream, one of the first things that comes out is the major and minor rev number, and that's just threw it in there to confirm that yes, we have a GPS unit somewhere in there. Then it's worth it. But then the question is, I think Rob, you mentioned that if the antenna is smaller, we get lower sensitivity. And the other thing is, if we're getting interference, then we'd have to actually shield the core too, because that's the big source of interference right
Yeah,
there.
or what Michael was suggesting, just a different placement of the GPS. Because
Right.
according to Michael's observation, if it's very close to the M5,
I mean, it's anecdotal, but I just
Yeah.
noticed that when I
You
put
noticed.
the GPS module on that 20 centimeter tether, it for indoor reception, it was significantly better. So, is it significant enough? But but like I said, I think it's worth testing, and that's why I'm going to set up a test rig to do that.
Okay, great.
Actually, when I was looking into the GPS a few months ago, when I also enabled the Assist Now feature, I found out through a video of a guy explaining like how to improve your GPS, and it was for a drone. And one of the things he mentioned was also placing the GPS module itself on one of the wings of the drone. So because of interference with the electrical components inside of the drone itself. So it's the
Interesting,
same
yes.
story.
Mhm.
And another thing he mentioned, I can send the video as well. I think
Yeah,
it might
please
be
send
more
Did you
it.
see?
relevant now.
Did you see my post on Assist Now?
Yeah, I saw it. I don't remember it at
Yeah.
this moment, but
So
yeah,
Assist Now, the only way to confirm, so it
right,
saves satellites, and the problem is like if you turn the unit off, and you have to
right,
turn it off in a controlled manner so that you don't interrupt the Assist Now calculations, because if you just turn the switch off on the GPS unit, you won't have that data. The other thing is when it's powered on, if Assist Now is not saved, as it's not going to do its initial calculations when it turns on. So it doesn't
Hmm.
make any, doesn't do anything to just dynamically turn on Assist Now, and then the next time you power up, turn on Assist Now. And then the other thing was that, you know, if those satellites are now on the opposite side of the Earth, when you turn it back on, it's actually going to it's going to spend resources
Oh,
trying to use that data,
Mm.
even though it's not there. So there are a couple of posts. I posted one. You have to expand the post from uBlocks where he goes in and explains the caveats and the downsides of Assist Now.
right,
It
okay,
seems like the people that mostly use it are um, are base stations where they want to bring the system up. You can imagine if you have a farm that's has you know, robotic farming equipment, that you're looking for accuracy as soon as possible. But again, they still have the caveats of go in and look at the NavSat list, and are they estimating, or are they really using, you know, are they using real data?
hmm. Okay. Well, it was a test basically, so
Right.
I didn't notice many improvements after
No.
enabling it. I did notice like it would log faster, but that was after like turning it off and turning it on again, and then it would log like very quickly for me at least. But I mean, for the use case of the Zen, maybe that's not the perfect way. Like if you turn it off and take it out like a day later or a
Right.
week later, then it's uh, like old data anyway, if it even
But
saves.
again, it's anecdotal in that you really need, in order
Yeah,
for you to realize, to actually, that was the question. The primary question that keep coming up in the uBlocks forum is, how do I know if Assist Now is doing anything for me? And the
right,
only way to know that is to actually extract the satellite data to see whether it's using satellites that may or may not be in view on the startup.
right. So I guess we could disable it and see if it like maybe it stays the same, and then we can keep it disabled if there is
Right.
downsides to it anyway.
Yeah.
Like I said, if you want to enable it, you're going to have to also save it in the configuration
Oh, I see. So that
on the GPS module. Because on startup,
Uh,
it has to be enabled in order to go and start doing
Right.
its work in getting
I
those
would assume
satellites.
that if you enable it, it would. Well, maybe I did.
No,
It's not like I read all the docs.
any configuration you change is lost on power down unless you
Right.
actually save it. Explicitly save it, I should say.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, I did go through the code, and it would like send a message like change configurations message. So
No,
I
save
didn't look
config
into it.
is a command all on its own. And you can there's
Okay.
there's a set of, I think it's 16 flags where you can choose what you want to save. Or just like save the current configuration completely.
Right. Yeah, I didn't look that much into it then, so it's okay. We can disable it.
Yeah.
And anyway, there was one more thing in that video, which was starting up the GPS unit on its own before starting the other electrical components, which is currently not possible because it's connected to the core 2 for
Right.
power. So, but letting it start up on its own and getting it fixed before starting up any other components would also improve accuracy and time to get a fix, is what I heard.
So that
That's
gets
was in the
because
into
of
video.
the interference, or
EMI, yeah.
Yeah, the guy in the video did all kinds of tests with it, and he came up with the solution, like a combination of, and then it would have the best time to fix, like few seconds, or yeah, I'd have to go back to the video. It was a while back.
yeah, please share
But
it.
I
It's
think
interesting.
moving the GPS unit further down is maybe for the Zen like the easiest way to
Right.
improve GPS.
But again, without just to do the work to actually test that. I mean, if I have two Zen units side by side, one with the GPS module where it currently is, and another one, and literally I'll be able to see the signal to noise ratio, the signal strength in each of
Yes.
those locations, and to see whether or not it makes a difference. It depends on, there's a whole bunch of factors. When I first started, in IBM, we were involved in doing tests like this, and we had this gigantic anechoic chamber for deadening all signals. Interesting note about that: you were only allowed to be in that room in setting up your tests and stuff for a certain period of time. I think it was like an hour or something like that, because it's very the room is completely dead quiet, and there's something that it really screws with your brain.
Oh yes, yes.
Yeah,
Quietness
to
can
be
be
in
very
that
dangerous.
environment.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've been in one. Yeah, it's very upsetting, disturbing.
Oh,
Yeah.
I've been by myself in the desert, and some places there's no noise. It's beautiful. You hear your breathing. You can hear your heart even. It's amazing.
Yeah.
I think it's beautiful.
Right.
Yeah, we can run some tests. So maybe we can like spend a little time on making a small Core 2 program that just does simple GPS reading, kind of what you have on your current setup,
Right.
Michael. And then we can test directly with the Core 2 and all the components that are connected,
Right.
and see. And then indeed with some cables where placing
Right.
the.
So as soon as I have this this library, this SparkFun replacement library with NavSat support, to where I want it, where I can get signal to noise ratio, we can have the current debug mode or a separate debug mode that will just I'll sort the list of satellites to the ones that are currently being used for navigation, and then we can literally do side-by-side comparisons of by moving it around, just using two-sided tape, putting it in different locations on the board to see if we get any difference.
Yeah, that's a good idea. We have about 3 minutes left, just to let you know. And I have a question for Louis. So Louis, the event you're talking about, when is that?
The event.
You're gonna.
Oh yeah, sorry. The talk. It hasn't been determined yet. There's an organizing meeting on Friday, just to bring everybody else into the loop. There's a local group that is concerned about the restart, or the refurbishment. In other words, they're basically rebuilding the whole reactor, all 4 reactors at Pickering, right on Lake Ontario. And the concern is that it's in a heavily built up area. So if, like the 10-kilometer radius is like millions of people, it's not like there was that reactor in New York, Indian Point is fairly far on Long Island.
I'm in the 10-kilometer range of Indian Point, which is now shut down. But
Right.
yeah, we actually have one of the sirens is right at is about 50 feet off the corner of my property.
Okay, so nice.
But
Louis,
if you have a possibility to talk about the Zen as a fixed sensor, that will be great. Yes. Oh,
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, I've actually got it working now.
And then in fixed mode, and then if possible, even let's call it the ROT mode, so you can real time see walking around where the data is, and they can see.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, that would be wonderful
also,
if you could do that.
Yeah, so I'll let you know more, but I think they want a short little presentation of what's safe gas all about. I love that motto. Like trust is not a renewable resource, because there's no trust right now in our nuclear regulator. They came up with a report after the Fukushima Daiichi disaster, and then I don't think they liked the numbers, so they basically came up. No, that would never happen. So not terribly impressed with them. Anyway, so I'll obviously take the neutral stance, like we're pro data and all that kind of stuff. So
that's good.
Anyway, so yeah, that's my news for today. I got my Zen working, and I'm going to take it out for a test. It's -12 right now, so we'll find out how it survives.
You're going to bring it outside then?
Oh yeah, I was gonna anchor it to the outside of the car.
Great.
So,
yeah, and Yella, you weren't here for the last meeting, and I got mine working, and I said the first thing I thought of was how impressive the software is, how much is going on inside
There's
this
a
little
lot.
guy.
I
There's
watched
a
the
lot of
video,
things. So yes, that
thanks.
was
Yeah,
incredible.
I completely agree. I'm still very impressed. Every time I switch it on, I say, wow, this is nice. So much improvement. And my daily trip, I bring it with me. And it's always working. So I haven't had any failure yet. So
That's good.
Right.
Okay,
And this is only the beginning. So
yeah, and I have four 3 units all the time on, and no issues. And don't switch them off. And they keep powered on by the wireless charger.
Okay.
is the core 1v1 1.1 also running fine, like the new core that you
I haven't
got?
tried it yet, because I'm still waiting for the boards. They should come in maybe in 2 or 3 days, the new boards, and I want to build it with the new board, the 3.03, to be sure that everything works, because
Right.
there was a grounding problem on the 302 boards.
Okay.
Right.
The one request I do have is blank and then wake on touch. I think that's I'm just worried about burn-in, that's all.
Yes, I completely agree with you. Yeah, I already seen one of them degrading.
Okay.
right.
Yeah, I was working on that. At least for the fixed mode, that it would like set the brightness to very low percentage, but still visible that you could see it being on.
Good point. Good
Good point. Yeah. But
And
you
then
can see that it's if the GPS is blinking, you can see that it's on.
Yeah, that is true, but I don't know.
You could
Maybe
yeah, like my TV set has these little fireworks things that that go off when it's when the
screensaver.
screensaver is
No,
Yeah, I was thinking
it
also
doesn't need that, but it's one idea.
no.
I was also thinking in
yeah.
terms of battery life, right? Just because I mean it's taking some power to keep that on. So but wake on touch, I think would be And it doesn't have to be on for long. You just, and of course in configuration mode, you have an always on. So
Right.
okay. Anyway, that's my 2 cents worth.
Okay, yeah, that's very useful. Good idea.
All right.
We have other things to talk about because I think we're running out.
Right.
Now 1 minute.
And
One
you
minute.
have to run out
One
too,
minute
Louis.
left.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, I have to get back to work, so
Okay, good.
I'll be
All right.
thank
Enjoy your time afterwards. Anyway, I will post the video
thank you.
later.
Yes, thank
Okay,
you.
All right.
fantastic.
Have a nice day.
You too.
Bye
Have a
bye.
good week. Bye.
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 You too.